Hi there. Today we're going to talk about point of view characters again, and we're going to talk about adding a +1 to that protagonist. Some people have asked me, how many point of view characters can a novel withstand? And the answer is, while you're getting started, try to keep the number down to as few as possible. But here's some compelling reasons you might want to think about adding a second point of view character. What if there are times that we need to be brought front and center visually, viscerally into a scene, and your character is not part of that scene? That's a good reason to have a second point of view character. Or what if your point of view character turns out through time not to be that reliable a storyteller? Here's some examples. The first one is any kind of a rescue story. Boy, you might want to think about having a second point of view character, because whoever it is that's in terrible danger, we see the world from their point of view. Let's say the person is at the South Pole needing rescue. And then we can have a second point of view character, and they're all busy trying to go through that storm and beat time and the clock and the frailties of the plane and get to that person in time. You can switch back and forth between those 2 points of view, and you've got a heck of a novel that's filled with suspense about if either one of those characters is going to survive, if they both are, what's going to happen. The other thing is if the character is unreliable in any way. Or love stories. Sometimes love stories are a great way to have a second point of view character. Let's take this. What if somebody is madly in love with a woman, and he writes little sweet notes to her, and he actually writes little notes to himself about her because he's just in some way obsessed with her. Ah, that word, obsessed. Then we flip the point of view. We're inside her head. We realize that she's happily married, and oh yeah, not to him at all. And that suddenly, vaguely, uneasily, on the periphery of her world, comes into her world little bits of how weird this guy is. Suddenly everything shifts, and we begin to worry about the main character, if he's the bad guy, if he's the collector, and what's going to happen to his victim. Again, that's another compelling reason to develop a second point of view character. Or just a simple love story. Sometimes just balancing the two characters and their lives, who they are, what they are. It's fun to work in a second point of view character, keeping in mind that we need to know who the main character really is at all times. Have fun. I'll talk to you later. See you next week.